Assistant Warden in Community Conservation for Lake Mburo Conservation Area. I would like to welcome you to Lake Mburo National Park. Both the students, the lecturers, and the ACHA members, you're most welcome to Lake Mburo. And I welcome you to this very important meeting we are going to have today. I think so far so good, because we've had a good time in the field and you must have experienced a lot. And I know you must have felt a lot of things while inside the park, in the tracks we've passed through. I know some of you, maybe it could be the first time for you to pass through a national park and maybe to see some of the animals we've seen today, as well as seeing the cows. And the cultural values project, that's how I should call it. And I think this collaboration between Lake Mburo and the ACHA is going to bring a big deal to the conservation world, because we are conserving the culture of the Ankole, yes, the Ankole culture, and at the same time having a tourism product in the national park. And we believe that this project will actually bring in a lot of revenue that will improve tourism as a sector and also improve the livelihoods of the people, and at the same time conserving our culture as the Ankole people. Otherwise, I welcome you to Lake Mburo and I wish you the best in this meeting. I thank you.
And thank you for the welcoming remarks, and I hope everyone here, actually we haven't mixed up. I can see we have running this side. I think Dr. Sarah, you help me to mix up these people. And
don't worry about that.
I can see they are like ICC standing alone as a group, running as a group. Then,
can I do that right now?
Yes,
because I was dying to do that. Papa, do business and we get up. Up, go. On your feet. Okay.
We break that thing together.
Mukazi, get that. Okay, where is Ola? Come closer. You go where Ola has come. Elizabeth, you also come closer. You're going to sit with the software engineer. You're going to go a little bit. Okay, Dennis, you come and sit with the engineer woman. She's going to go there.
Okay.
Everybody move where I've noted you're supposed to be moving. Okay, now there is this team here, this beautiful team. This is interdisciplinary studies.
Yes.
Can we all see if you can see? Let's go. Let's go. Move. Okay, now you're going to. How many women are there? You're going to go sit.
Mm-hmm.
Software engineers, how many are left there? Okay, she's leaving, eh?
Actually, you should borrow the example from the other side. We have a herdsman who is a business person. So I need that concept. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Power is not on.
And yes, you also come. Can I also distribute lean and
yes.
They like sitting together.
Yes.
Now you're going to sit Precious, give way, just clear some way, and she sits between the other two. Then you're going to sit with the other engineer. Am I? Lynn is sitting right there.
This guy is
Okay.
Engineer, come here.
Okay. I think we are done. We are now mixed up the way I wanted it. Hey, we still have tourism together.
They are all here. Tourists, can we put up our hands? You see? Look at what?
Hey, you still concentrated in one place.
I think they are a little spread, except
Okay.
this should have been there, but it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, thank you. I think it's now time to welcome our chairperson with a round of clap.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, can you repeat my name, Dr. Mandela, Chairman Acha.
We need to be audible. Okay.
So, I wish to talk about the origin of Acha. People were living in the national park, keeping their cows as herdsmen and women. They could depend on their cows only. They were not digging, they were not buying food, but they could depend on their cows. Time came when they said this area is so beautiful for conservation. Because other areas, there were no animals, but the place had animals, wild animals. So it was a discussion from government. They said, let us gazette it as a national park. So when it was gazetted national park, people went out crying because they were nowhere to go. During the Obote's regime, they remained crying, know what to do, nowhere to go. Even there were some cultivators who were around. All of us were chased out. Now, if I were you, now think, where to go, where to be, what to eat. So some managed to move. When the NRM government, which came in power in 1985, they came back because they knew that it was their land. After coming back, government decided to take a part to make it a national park and another part to be where people should live. And this is the area which you see out. But fortunately enough, I was among them. So, think of the situation, how can it be when you see where you settled, you are saying that you are no longer to settle there. Think of such a situation. It was alarming. So they started slowly by slowly, teaching, sensitizing the way how we should live. So they got apart, they took that area. And when you think of the big area which was taken, where we used to be, now it has changed already. Life could be very complicated. Our cows, where we are living, no longer in existence. So government saw it, and the national park say, how can we conserve these Ankole cows? Then we sat together, everybody, about 17 people, one contributed a single cow. 17 people. It was 1919. That is when we thought of Acha. That is Ankole cow, conservation, cultural, and yes, conservation and cultural conservation. So those cows, we have tried to manage them. From there are some organizations which helped us to construct, or is it to start Ankole Acha. That is and Kore cow, culture and values conservation. So now we had Flora and Fauna International, USAID, UWF. They helped us to give us money. We constructed reception offices and demonstration house, which I think some have gone inside that house and they have seen what is there. So they constructed, but with little money, with 17 cows which we had. Now, what can be added on? It was only 17 cows. But my fellow friends like Bagwanji and Donald, who is today my treasurer, they tried to keep them, and they have multiplied today to 74 cows. But those cows, they need those who should keep them. They need salaries. They need to eat. They need to take their children to the school. They need salaries. And when we touch in those cows, we don't expect that those cows can exist anymore. So we have got challenges. Renovation of the reception house and demonstration house. We don't have facilities like good toilet facility, kitchen, training for workers who are in those cows, marketing our productions from the cows, and the children shop for the things we can produce in our hands, like a vianzi, milk pot, then their cover. Then we used to tie on the tree when we were moving, where the grass could be, called the ebiteko. They used to call it ebiteko. So those should be conserved and should be in existence to show what we are doing at that time. Lastly, as you have come and call a cow as an archer, we are not doing it for ourselves. We are here today, and tomorrow we will not be there. Will it exist again if we just drop? So that's why I am requesting each and everyone, students, park management, officers, we need to work hand in hand to sympathize with those people who are working with the archer. Because if you put their law as it says, it may diminish. Therefore, we have to relax a bit. For example, today when we are coming, when we reached on the gate, they said, "You have not informed us." Because there is no indication saying that I'm part of archer. They say, you need to report before you come. Where am I going? They know that I'm going to archer. Where does it belong? It belongs to park. Now, if I'm asked now and then, it means that in one day, one time, they will expel me from the what? From the national park. Yet we need a label which shows that we are part of park, and at the same time, we're able to show that we are in archer. Which is your cows? I'm observation, park management. I'm trying to inform you that those are your cows. Because I don't expect one day for us when we are not there, who will be looking after those cows? That is park. So you should not think of today saying you should not go there. Either the way you are doing it, it is for the nation, it is not for an individual. As I am, and my fellow ACHA members. Dear sisters and brothers, those are end of my remarks. Thank you very much.
Okay, Actually, has given us the whole overview of the project. Only that you may wonder why there are still 75 since inception. Since 1990. That is a question that has already an answer. Why they have not been having funds to run this activity. They use the cows, pay back the herdsmen, the car sides, like buying so such a kind of stuff. So I'm happy you have brought the problem on board, and we have here people who are good at solving problems. That's why we're here. As project one, in charge of conservation practices and environment, we got concern from ACHA, through Dr. Asam Jishas, who was the founder of this. By then, he was an executive director of Uganda Authority when this started. For him, he looked at the Parker relationship. He looked at the Parker relationship with the community and how best it can be strengthened. Through Uganda Wildlife Authority Management Plan, they decided to give the ACHA members, those are people who are from areas adjacent to Lake Mburu. Is it 30 acres?
Yes, 30 acres.
It's 30 acres of land, where they can keep the indigenous cows, gain from them as they promote conservation. You know, 60% of the animals around Lake Mburu stays within the periphery, the park boundaries. And these animals, I can assure you, they can cause even diseases to other animals. Of course, they get diseases and they also transmit them to livestock. At the same time, they destroy water ponds. So there is a lot that is going on, but to link up this gap, we found out that ACHA as a product, which can generate money on behalf of the community, because this money, when it's generated, it goes back to the community. They can fund community-related projects here, and in that sense, we end up getting a win-win situation. On that note, I would like to invite one of project members present here, Sam, a student who has been behind all of this, preparing for the boot camp, and she will guide us about what we are going to do in the next session, what we are expected to deliver. Like, she will tell us the details. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Sam.
Okay, I think by now, during the day, everybody...
Minute. We are sorry we have no power. We would have been projecting here. Some of the visuals will not be seen.
I'll try to make it as easy as possible to visualize. So I think by now, everybody has hopefully a clear picture about current situation, about what the site looks like, about the history, the background, and everything. And this 3-day bootcamp is designed following the design thinking method. Okay. Is this better? No. Yeah, okay. Okay. And on this day, the main focus is on empathizing and defining the problem. Tomorrow, we will go over to ideation, trying to come up with ideas, trying to fill these gaps, trying to deal with these challenges. And the third day will actually be about trying to come up with some sort of prototype, with some kind of pitch for what an ideal product would look like. So by the end of these 3 days, we should have accomplished 3 things. the first one is, okay, we should have a clear definition of what the challenges are. What are the gaps? What can be better to make this a viable product? Also look at the opportunities that you can get out of these challenges. The second thing is we should try and come up with a clear product. And I think we have seen this morning that there are already many products that can be sold to clients, but I think it is very important, because of the research I've done, there are many competitors who offer similar products. I think it is very useful if we could look for a unique value proposition. What makes Acha different from other cultural experiences connected to the Ankole cow? And the third thing we should do is try to come up with ideas for marketing. Okay, how do we want to target our audience? Who is our audience? And also what kind of financials do we need? Where will we possibly get them? And every day we can try to reach one of these objectives. And I think it might be an exercise for everybody to, I don't have visuals now, but try by tomorrow to sum up as a group 5 burning challenges, gaps that you can clearly see that you've noticed today. And what you can also do is, aside from this problem, you can see, okay, what is causing this problem? How is it affecting the product? And also, who is involved? So who are the stakeholders connected to this problem? Who can solve this problem? Who created the problem, maybe even? So try to, as a group, at least come up with 5 good gaps, and maybe also try and look for, okay, but there is a possibility for an opportunity out of this challenge. Yes, if I would have my visuals, I would go deeper into the design thinking method, but I think a lot of you guys are already familiar with it. I think that's it, yeah. Okay, good. Anyone else?
I think as they switch on the generator and as my team swings into action, the key feedback we are getting from Sam is that we are using a design thinking approach to understand the challenges at Acha. Because we need to understand these challenges, and we are saying we are using the design thinking. We can imagine that these challenges exist, but the people who live the challenges are the ones who understand them.
So ask as many questions as possible.
So we are going to be engaging the Acha team as well as the OA team, all these members present here who have lived around this place to hear their experiences. So that is the beginning stage of design thinking. So we are happy that you are near us, you are with us, and we are happy also that the design thinkers, the innovators are here. My team is going to arrange this shortly. Sarah is ready, I believe. Dr. Ren is ready. Nuriat, you are ready. Who have I not mentioned? Even Lynn, you are present. Dr. Kula is there. Remember, the component we are calling, or the company we are calling Acha, is an organization. So for those who are coming from the business background, the total assets that it has defines its wealth. We remember that? If there are 30 acres, my quick question is, how much is an acre in this place? How many acres? How much is an acre? I'm just preparing the session. How much is an acre here? 17 million times 30. Quick answer. Quick answer. 100?
50 something.
100 what? Quick answers, please. We want to estimate the worth of this Acha. 510 already. 75 cows times how many? 2 million or 1 million? How much is an average cost? 1.5. So let's inflate it and put it at 2 million for quick answers. 148 million or 150 million. So this is an organization that is already worth over 700 million. Is it a small business? Huh? We don't know yet how it is financed, but it has challenges, and we want it to shine and attract business within Uganda and outside Uganda. To do that, we need to produce what? Products. But we will not understand these products unless we understand the challenge the people living with ACHA and in ACHA they are experiencing. Am I clear? So the task we have today is to empathize and subsequently define the challenge. Now, this is the task that my team is going to start engaging in, and now I have the courtesy of handing over to Dr. Sarah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ali. We have been told that in 30 minutes our lunch will be ready, but in 30 minutes we can start this conversation. So my quick one, I would want to have everybody that have, why are you seated here, Kisha? So I would want a few individuals to turn, as long as you are not supposed to be, if that group, where did we end? You are tourist, planning, business, Belgium, software. So we stop there, okay? And then I would like to have one UA, yes, Johnson, I think you join this group, and then this particular group, can we turn this side? Dr. Kule also joined that team. I would want faculty, and then I would also want to have the HUA team, and I would like to have the ACHA team. Mr. Mandela, you come and join this team. So this is supposed to be a full team. Okay, now I want to have this team. Nuriat is already here. I have UA, and then I have ACHA. Can I get, Okay, then I have this team. Mama, please come. You're joining this team. Sarah, you're joining this team. Okay, now we have this team. I kindly request that you get this and we push behind, because you have Lynn and you have the madam who are there, two of them. Push this one. I want you to push so that a few can sit this side and a few can sit the other side. Let's push. Let's go. We're going to do the same. Dr. Redney, you are on this team. Can we get this and push it just a little bit? You're sitting with the... Samogareli, you join this team. Let's push a little bit. Okay. Can we turn those ones here so that it's a conversation? Make sure it's a conversation. Thank you. Can we push a little bit? I think Dr. Manasseh, you're going to have this team. Oh, no. There is already Ren here. Sorry? Okay. Dr. Ali, I think you're missing here. All right. Who is missing in action? Sankara, where are you supposed to be? You're supposed to be there in taking pictures. All right, now we are going to come up with guiding questions. But for starters, I would want the conversation to begin. And the conversation can begin from anywhere. Mr. Mandela, and I would want you to be comfortable with whatever language. If the thing is not coming out, this English is not our first language. We need to make sure that every word comes out. So if the conversation begins with Johnson, so 17 cows for 35 years. Let's begin from anywhere, okay? And we don't want to be offensive, but I hope the questions can come out as easily as, ask any question. And then we are going to design our guiding questions for now. But for starters, let the conversation begin. So team 1 is right here, and it's Sam. You are team leader here. But Dr. Kule is also going to guide in any question, let everybody, it's a focus group discussion. Yes, yes.
We need someone from Acha representative here because
Yes, yes, please. I'm so sorry, I have to steal you. We have one. It's here. Where's another Acha?
We need one here.
Johnson, you join this team? I'm seeing two who are here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's come here.
My bag has gone.
Who are here? Okay, I think everybody is represented. The student representatives, the UA and ACHA, and I think it's showtime. No, we got here. UA is missing here. UA, we have God, we have some organized right here. Okay. Okay. Yes, here. I think we're well distributed. And Nuriat, you're in charge of this team. The conversation can begin from anywhere and let the time is on. Any question is relevant. Let's begin the conversation.
now. So this team which is here, I've had their marketers, so we want advice from them how product that we are putting in place. You get me? We already have the cows, we have the water on site, we have a pit latrine on site, and we have the hut. And the shelter will soon be renovated where people can sit when it rains.
And
So-
even a kitchen.
And the kitchen. So, what do you advise now that you have seen these products there already in place? So, how can we market them out for people to know and they come and bring the revenue? And
My last question is, market the products, you need to know which products do you mostly use, what products do you hope to most benefit from, and which products do you are useless to you, because it may be out of lack of knowledge, but the most useless product can be your most marketable product.
Like your value.
You want to know which
Pressure.
no, Donald, Cyrus, you can also add something. Don't leave me to talk alone.
Yeah, and the lady.
Highlight the most valuable to me, I believe it is the whole cow preserved the high rated product, where all other
Coming down.
look at the beauty of the cow, because of the bones and the different colors, and at the same time, they want a feel on the product.
I've written inadequate infrastructure.
There's also another problem highlighted there, the lack of culture shops. Part of infrastructure.
Craft shops, curio shops, yeah. Infrastructure, yes. No, you should have a curio shop. Putting there Evianzi, what,
Whoever wants can.
yeah. Like maybe you receive visitors and someone wants to buy. So which other challenge?
Another challenge.
Tourists.
All it should be opened by someone who's going to water the cows.
Or at the beginning, when this was started,
And so what
they were targeting these white tourists, Europe, America, blah, blah, blah. But the information has not been stamped there. People don't know about the culture. So that was the target benefit. But these tourists don't know because there's no information. That information is not there. Then I also we were talking about tourist operators. Tourist operators need to talk about Acha. Take the information out to tourists.
So if we promoted G, we would be able to promote Acha. You are saying that? Eh?
Yeah. And the key is quite different from those Even milk itself is quite different. The skin itself is quite different. Even these horns, they are very important in some
Any products to do with the culture?
Even cow dung,
even and naturally, the cow would say it has its own science. It detects like a lion from as far as 10 miles away. When you have it at night, it detects a lion from as far as 10 miles. And it starts urinating, it starts to be wild. When you are near with it, you are always there. You see it detects weather when they are in drought. It detects when they need the rain. It knows it before like two weeks.
That's during when there's drought and that feeling like when there's danger. You differentiate when
Of course, when it wakes
In the morning.
no, around the night, starts to smell.
what are we
Hata tumukuandika nayo
You will know that there will be rain.
Lions, because some clients go there, can even be a research
So
center.
when there is like a leopard,
And so they help.
but it can't be wild, like as if it has it's different.
So we are talking about the product. So what is the product in that? Product that we can sell. Do you see something special that we can promote there?
Actually,
Are you
without
saying we can have
UA,
education
Acha
about
cannot
the
exist.
holy cow as
Get
a
me?
potential product?
UA feeds from, Acha feeds from UA. And Acha is like a child of UA. You get me? Because even when clients are coming to Acha, it is a must. They have to pass through UA gates. But when it comes to management of finances and resources, we have to collaborate, whereby we have to trust each other and believe in each other. You get me? And we are actually picking knowledge from where that thing has happened before and how we have been operating, just like we have other concessionaires inside the national park. Like there are some people who have hotels inside the national park, but we rely on them because they are our partners and we trust them. We know that, let me say, like Arcadia or Chigambira, sometimes they receive visitors who come there to sleep in the lodges, and they pay us what they call bed nights. We have MOUs with these people, and they are the MOUs that actually make us live together and work together as a team. So when you have a memorandum of understanding with these people, you agree, you make an agreement. Like if people are paying entrance fee, that one is untouchable. That is, it is for the park. And by the way, this entrance fee is subjected to so many deductions, because we even give out money to still these people who stay adjacent to the park in form of revenue sharing. So that one is untouchable. So when they come to Acha, maybe it is still entirely UA which will work on the trails going to Acha for people to access these areas. That's why also UA has to get some percentage that can help in maintenance of these facilities. So, even security. Of course, when this tourism product starts, we shall have the guides also there who are going to work to, well, we know also ACHA will have guides, but for security purposes, we shall also have staff from Uganda Level Authority, maybe to back up the guiding team and or maybe also provide security. Now, when it comes to sharing the money, we shall agree depending on what is in the
not cost, but pure Ankoreka.
To preserve their culture.
It is not, you are talking of culture, but culture starts with what we put on, what we eat,
How you do that.
and how we do that.
That is it.
So the major issue is to conserve Ankole cow.
Yeah, Ankole culture.
No, I remember that we were actually, that the Acha was given a place or a specific land. That was 38. So it speaks and it won't increase. See? So
now,
only
you see,
But even that is enough.
It is enough, yeah, it is. It is enough by the park, isn't it? You got 30 acres.
Yes,
Yeah.
but then, okay, what I'm looking at is this: if we don't have that consistent flow of income from here, and we may not be able to keep any other kinds of cattle within the park, is it true?
You see, our main concern is how to boost marketing.
Market, yeah.
That's the main problem.
It is
How
market.
can we probably make people come to know what is happening in Acha?
Because most people don't know about Acha. Yeah.
Then to me, something will become.
It is all about marketing. You go online, you do online marketing. Yeah, that is it. You sell your products. Yeah, they will get very many. So you said the main focus should be on preserving the culture. Yeah?
Yes.
That is our main focus.
That's
yes, that is yes.
The problem.
That's actually
Oh,
more like
yeah.
no, that's actually more what the purpose of the product is. I think we should more look at what is the problem with the product. Because if the product is going to be sold, then the preservation of the culture will happen. Now we're just focusing on the preservation of culture, but if this product is constructed well, then this preservation of the culture will be.
Yeah, because for resubmission, we said there is no structured system.
Yeah, that's a good
true.
problem, but just preservation of culture is not.
So once we have that, then we also have a challenge of marketing. People come to know about. So as an innovator, we should ask ourselves, what can we do to have their products known? That's the reason why we brought in engineers, tourism, and other disciplines.
Now, one of the other things is
Later on,
as you
Yeah.
do they even know? Okay, very few of them. I don't think like everywhere or wherever they are, they know about
Acha.
Acha. The way we know that
as you market your products as poor, do you?
Oh, we should also, okay, like maybe to create good relationship with Acha people. Yes, yeah.
the relationship is one, but then now this system, so we know some facts for what they keep. So we know like Queen Elizabeth, are they hippopotamus?
Yes.
That, and we know Windy for
Gorilla.
Now that making the Acha should, market it as a body that preserves the
Culture.
we don't
And
need
when you are
any
marketing
other.
your products as Lake Mburo, you talk of Acha.
Yes.
I think, yeah, sometimes we do, but not all stuff.
That means,
So that's a challenge.
that means everywhere where you are, you should have Acha.
If you go on the website of UWA, you cannot find
Website of UWA. Oh, yeah.
It's not there.
Yeah.
It's not there. It's never. I have researched the whole internet. Acha does not exist.
Sure.
So there is no
That's a little bit problem.
Awareness, I think, yeah. Awareness.
Yes,
So
but
lack of awareness.
So to expand it, we need to also know that Lake Mburo, as management, does know
Connections maybe.
market.
Maybe a problem can also be
products.
no connections.
When they are coming.
You see that
And some kind of entertainment from Bahima and Bahima people. Because Those will attract.
I think the entertainment part can also attract even the youth who are not joining the action. Yeah, because you see the youth, there is what attracts them. So you bring them here, there is nothing, there is what, they cannot come. But when you put such entertainment, you put such incentives, then they have to.
They have it on internet, whatever.
Yes, yes. Yeah, internet part. Yeah. So they come.
What are some of the people that you work hand in hand with? Like, you are a stakeholder of the organization, but I think you should be having the other stakeholders.
Yeah.
Then the other question is, are the community members also engaged, or the only 80 members of the association are the people that take part in the organizational activities? So the community people
Those who are committed to that project is only us, only three. Voluntarily committed to that. We have no place, we have no say, we have no.
Currently, who are your stakeholders?
kyagezaako okugamba bani bemukola nabo abalala kati nga uwa is one of the stakeholders, community is one of another stakeholders, so tesi bangi nnyo but uwa community.
There are many numbers, but very few.
There might be many numbers, but a few are so much engaged in it.
So how can you engage many people to come?
Just for those things we have talked about, beautification of the animals, to the income. When the people they hear there is an income there, they will start coming. People are like that. They will start coming.
No, I think another thing that would be very important is he has talked of beautifying the cow, beautifying the places, the center as well. The center as well. So when the center is beautified, it has something like a nature walk trail where people will move on the trail while they are being guided, what they do. Maybe they will visit some curio shops. The center will have a good, like the other one saying, maybe there is this house that we entered into, it's called what, where they tell you about the culture.
If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. Lunch is ready. So we are going to make presentations, a few presentations. For starters, the conversation is just beginning, okay? Because right now we've not even started. We are still getting so many challenges here and there. So I'm going to request that we go actually for lunch. And as we do that, please, the conversation should continue. And then once we are done, then we are going to go back in our teams, and then we are going to continue to engage. And then we'll be having presentations for every team. Presentations on what is coming through, like from that team. What are the challenges coming through? And for the students, your job is to be very open-minded, okay? Make sure you do not leave any problem. Like I'm hearing the problem of invasive weeds, and I'm like, how do we deal with these weeds? How do they connect with ASHA? But at the end of the day,
they should write.
yes,
Write
everybody should write. Make sure
write
you're
as much
writing.
as possible.
But if you can record, go ahead and do the recording, because you may need these voices tomorrow, okay? All right, you follow me.
So okugenda kubanza
We bring the Tukabeta bingi.
Als ik maar gewoon vragen, het heeft niet altijd... Nee, het is niet erop, maar nee, inderdaad wel, maar ik kan dat wel horen. Niet als het gaat over een businessproduct. Wel als het gaat over website. Ze zijn constant bezig over, ah ja, maar dat is weer een beter gepresenteerd. Ah nee, dat is niet. Maar het gaat over het product. We zijn een product aan het maken. Dat we in die cultuur niet proberen te genezen. Nee, dat is niet ons probleem. Ik snap er niks van.
conversation. Problems we're going to actually focus on. What is the actual problem? Who does it affect? Where Sam is actually going to project those issues. But for starters, let us see generically what the challenges are. You're up. You have 2 minutes.
Okay. We are so glad to be part of this ideation part, and yeah, we can just move on to save time. So before we get to know about the challenges, without a challenge, we can't have a solution defined to it. So we'll go straight up. Our first challenge we've seen, or I've also personally experienced as we were going through the whole place and the field, is an unstructured system, because we saw that we are unable to actually define the whole process, define the whole movement or the actual idea even at the start. In that we may have missed out very many things that we weren't able to see. For example, the milking part, we weren't able to see where they actually milk from, where the milk would be stored, except only in the theoretical bit of it. And behind a structured system, we lack documentation. So that's also part of it. We lacked documentation. So an unstructured system is that part where we don't have a seamless flow of the activities that take on or that Archer is involved in directly. So we missed very many of those, except we were able to have that room where we were able to see the images that represent what they actually do. So that needs to be set up. So number 2, lack of marketing of products by Archer. And yeah, I would love to, get 3 or 2 products. Anyone can mention? Milk? Ghee. Now, these products actually have to be marketed with the brand by Archer. Because, in marketing, I can buy something specifically because it's just bought by or it's made by, let's say this. But now, for this case, someone would actually go and buy milk because they trust it that it is from Archer. So we don't have this. Now, from the products, so we need to actually market and very, this can be very critical, and we'll dive deeper in it. But for the problem, that's it. Now, to break it down, we have techniques of marketing. That's because now, me being here, I had never heard of Archer. Maybe in some way I would come with some other knowledge, external or wherever I might have heard it from, somebody speaking about it. They might have been telling me a solution to that very problem, or this is what Archer would do, because you would, as individuals, we live out there we keep on suggesting stuff, and these guys would have done this or something better just because I've heard of it or I've seen how they do their things. So we could actually put out what we do or what Archer does for this instance, and that's part of the marketing. So there are very many techniques of marketing. So that's a problem. We haven't seen very many techniques out there or being deployed. So for the third part, I think I would like to give my other speaker just 1 more minute.
Actually motivating our presenters. Let's warm up. All of us, let's go. And okay. We have Group Zebra making a presentation.
So representing Group Zebra, our first thing was about the marketing of the product. And under the marketing, we came under the awareness of the product and the company behind the product, which is Archer. We didn't know much about Archer, but we knew the products, because these are common products we use in our everyday life. Ghee, milk, the cow hides, and these are things we know as the Ankole people to be our products, but we don't know what is Archer doing in that relation to promote these products or to sell these products. And still under the marketing part, UWA does not yet have very clear objectives of how to market Archer and how to market the products. Because when you entered the national park, we paid park entry for the park, and Archer is going to get nothing. We have stepped on their soil, they have used one of their guides. They are going to get nothing. So on part of the marketing, I feel like they don't have a particular packaging for their products still. So Archer has no brand uniqueness yet, which is an issue. And poor facilities. We stepped up at the facilities of Archer. I didn't see a toilet, so to say. I didn't see a toilet. The room was small. I don't know what you do if you get 100 tourists or a whole school coming. I don't know what you can do in that certain quick time. I don't think if you get 100 students, you can quick build a toilet there and then demolish it after. No, you can't. So the facilities are really lacking in all perspectives of the beauty. They don't have the Ankole beauty. They don't have the Ankole uniqueness. I think if we're entering somewhere where cows are meant to be, we should be able to see the cow hides, the horns in display. We should be able to see some of the picked
a picture, a very good picture, not a detailed drawing of something we know happens. We should be able to see a live shot of something being done, which is in the facilities of the physical and the visual, which can have a very large area to be improved. And for Archer to, I think, move forward, they need partnership with UA and maybe do a sub-branch with a YouTube channel or digital marketing, because physical marketing has proven not to be enough for them. So we can go to management and lack of proper systems. This is in collaboration issues, decision making, and the financial management. With the collaboration issues, Archer and UA are still pending on an agreement which is supposed to be signed. It's MOU. It's an MOU which is supposed to be signed. So the decision making is actually taking long, which is affecting the plan, and the decisions you're all making here are going to be rendered null and void if that plan doesn't come into act. Because if no company can actually take the decision to take the first step and initiate, the plan will all not go forward. So this is in collaboration issues. I don't think the park yet recognizes Archer as a branch of the park. It does not. Same way as you go to Queen Elizabeth and there's gorilla trekking, different pricing. It does not yet recognize Archer as that. So there are no particular prices for Archer, and there are no all the products of Archer are free of charge. Only if you enter the park, that's if. So let's go to the sustainability part. In UA's perspective, the project implementation has not yet been initiated. So to say that UA does not have the facilities which are financial and physical to implement any of Archer's projects. So Archer is looked at as a minor activity in the park, which would be a major, because it's actually about our heritage and everything about the Ankole person. So we go to Archer's perspective of the sustainability. Archer has no clear vision going forward yet. It does not have a clear vision going forward. I expect every Archer member to be able to give us a clear vision of what they expect to see 5 years from now, which has not been presented. And a plan which cannot be well defined cannot be implemented. And let me go to the financial management. UA has no proper allocation or division of the funds collected by the park to support Archer. And Archer in response does not have accountability and no clear generation and expenditure. So if the park does not if you do not fund something, you don't have the right to know how they spend or how they get the money they survive on. I feel like for the park not investing in Archer, Archer does not have to tell them how they get their money or how they spend their money, which should be one of the key elements of if you allowed someone to live in your home, they can't just live rent-free in your home. And so UA does not support Archer fully. It supports you by giving you the land and everything, but does not support you in the most basic financial areas, which is the most important, leading to lack of facilities, sustainability. So this all comes down to the money. And for UA and for Archer would be, I don't think you telling us that we sell a cow and then we use all the money to buy the medicine, pay the workers, and you have none left for a bank reserve. I think that's not evidence enough to show that you are a growing entity or a company, whereby you should be having a bank statement which shows that if all of you were to not be here tomorrow, the bank would have a backup to finance the project, but it does not. So, and our second last is youth involvement. As you see today, there is youth involvement, and we can see Archer's major youth gap, I think, estimatedly is 35 and above, which leaves you with a very full gap of no young intellect about the digital marketing, the new ways of how we view life, which is very different, and the correlation of information between the generations. And then my final point is red tape. So red tape is not yet we didn't have a lot of clear information about the red tape, but we got one and or two, which my colleague can finalize that point.
Adding on that, according to red tape, if you pick from the point of the chairman presenting these remarks about Acha, he was like, when he was coming, he was first stopped at the gate and was like, you didn't inform us. So which means for you to reach Acha, you need to first go through a defined system of OA so that you reach Acha. So which means there is no like a space. If maybe you want to like reach Acha alone, you cannot go because you have to first reach through OA to reach them. That is how difficult it is. Like there is a lot of bureaucracy in that thing. That's it.
Come on for this zebra. Let's go on. Thank you so much. The boy said students of my university speak English, and I did not know you people speak English. My God. Can we give it up for the giraffe? Yes. Oh my God. You guys are amazing. You are amazing. You are. All right. Can we get the giraffes?
So thank you, everyone. Together with my group, we've managed to come up with these challenges. They are not many, but I know they will make sense to everyone. So our first challenge was invasive weeds. So these are weeds we've seen that grow around the grazing area. Cows don't feed on them, but then they grow in their land. And in so doing, you find cows have limited pasture for feeding. So that becomes a challenge to cows as the available space cannot sustain them, since much of the space is always occupied by thatcher weeds that are not edible by animals. So another thing, we have dams. As the other gentleman was trying to explain to us, he talked of dams. As per now, they have a single dam, which is even small. So that means when it comes to sunny season, you find cows they don't have much water to feed on. And in so doing, you find they are competing with wild animals, the giraffe, the what, and you know that competition. Somehow, somewhere they are challenged. So we even have limited products given out. Even when we were told that these people can charm, was it churning something? So, all those things. We've seen that Acha doesn't have enough products to give out to the society. So you find even when you see cows, they don't have enough milk they give out. They don't make butter to give out. So it becomes a challenge to Acha, as it would be benefiting from thatcher products that are gotten out of those cows. Then another thing, we have creativity is limited. As we can see, since maybe a few people can know how to charm, it is so tricky. A few people know how to do it. And maybe if we had those people that can do that thing, maybe it would help us to put out butter in the market, and it would yield us some capital. Then we have even community being not aware. Community is not aware about Acha, whereby we've seen that even when people see cows in the park, they think everyone has the right to come and graze within the park, and which is not true. So you find when someone sees those cows, they try to also bring theirs in the park. And when you try to get them, people are complaining, why are these cows inside, and for us we can't be allowed to graze. It is also a challenge to Acha. Maybe they need to make the public aware that this is a project within the park, not necessary for everyone to graze within the park. Then we have no culture dances. We were told that people in the evening dance, but it's not true. And as Ankole, we would really want to maintain that culture, because it was good, it united people, it reunited families, but then it's not here. Then we have poor marketing about Acha. A few people are aware about this. As most of my colleagues have already said, a few people, even me, I didn't know about it. If I had not come here, then I was not going to know. So limited people know about this Acha. Then we have limited signage. So they are not, posters are limited. Like you can't know where. If you're not led by someone who knows the place, you can easily get lost. So it is also a challenge. Maybe if there were posts that can show us that this is maybe, if you take this route, you reach at Acha offices, or maybe you reach here, then it would be an advantage to us and to the Acha community as well. Then we have poor breeds of Ankole cows. We've seen that these cows, they are poor breeds. Because if you find you can raise a cow and every day it gives you 3 liters, that is very poor. It's really poor. Because we see, at least if you had that cow that would give you at least 10 liters of milk, where you can make at least 2 cups of butter and then you spare the rest for drinking, it would be important. So the breeds are too poor and then they are over disadvantage to the Acha community. Then we have payments and the motivation of workers. Workers don't receive enough payments because we've seen almost the whole project depends on cows. If they want to pay a worker, they sell off a cow. Since the projects are not even marketable outside, they are limited. There are few products, you can't put them to the market. And these workers that graze cows need money, but then money is not there. So you find every business to be, everything to be financed within the project, you have to sell a cow. And which is not good. Why should you sell a cow when you can get milk out of it? So then you even have poor coordination between cattle keepers and cultivators. Of course, you cannot live on ordinary milk. We need food. Even in Churuhula, people have cows, but they still grow cassava. So we would want that coordination where we can graze cows and still have crops grown, such that if I can get milk, then I have my cassava to maybe to take with in the morning, and it would make sense. So then we have some stuff not aware. We've seen that even people that are working around here, they are not aware of Acha, and it's bad. If people around here can't be aware, then what of us? Of course, for us, we are not even 1% aware. Then we have even fencing challenge. We've seen that sometimes cows go off boundaries. They just get out. You find them in place that was not given by UWA to this Acha. So there it becomes a challenge because in the so doing, a cow might maybe meet a leopard there, or maybe you would be questionable. Why did we give you this land? And then cows are feeding beyond it. So it is also a challenge to Acha, and it is a serious one. Because if they started with 17 cows and they were given land basing on 17 cows, and as per now they have 74, that means land has to be expanded as cows also increase. Then we have who owns Acha. We've seen that Acha, like people have questions in their mind, and it is actually a challenge to Acha itself, workers, even the neighbors of Acha. Because people ask themselves, is it communal owned? Something, is it owned by the community? Are the 17 people that contributed cows? So people are wondering, who owns Acha? Who is that person? So then we also have limited acreage of land that was given. Yes, true. Cows were 17 in the starting process, but now they have become many, from 17 to 74. The land that was given to 17 cows, sincerely, 74 now at least would expect some other land to be given to us. Then we have even limited facilities like hotels. Here, this challenge was told to us. Food here is expensive. Of course, you see now, getting maybe over chicken, over hen, from where? Coming to this packet is expensive. Even when someone has already gotten it up to here, they have to sell it expensively. So you find food is expensive. Even the prices of convenience, like latrines, are also. Thank you so much.
But surprisingly, it has been the same people who have been running the system up to date. That's a challenge that everyone can notice right now. One of the challenges is limited access to funds. Yes, we all know and ask ourselves, what is the main source of funds to Acha? He has been telling us that Acha sells cows and gets funds. But is that written anywhere? Which has failed to answer. Secondly, in limited access to funds, we've asked him that do they have partnerships? No, they have partnerships, but the partnerships have not been implemented to source or generate funds. They have many partnerships, as we've seen with Uganda Wildlife Authority, but it has not come out to fund or facilitate some programs till date. On the same issue of funds, it has been noted that only 4 members of the committee are more engaged: the treasurer, the chairman, and the herdsman, and the manager, of which there is limited financial, there is financial literacy, limited financial literacy on how to run funds, on how to plan. They don't have a proper, clear budgeting for funds and showing income and expenditure. As a member, I would advise on that. Secondly, it was weak governance. Since 2002, when we see the same people on board, is it fear of change or conservation? Yes, we're trying to conserve our cattle, but we're conserving ourselves in the system. Yes, many of us are youths. We will not come up with fresh ideas to help out, because this is my first time to hear about ACHA. If the governance was more detailed and it was strong, we wouldn't ask ourselves many questions, because we ask ourselves how many staff members does the organization have. They will tell you that we are only 4 who are apparently participating today for over 17 years to 15 years in existence. Secondly, on this, the youth are not engaged in this, because we've seen the people who are in ACHA, who are running the system, are about 50 years and above. 60. He has proved me right. Another problem was limited community engagement. Yes, as a community has been completely left out and swept out. Because by now we estimate, if they started with 17 cows in the past 15 years and they came up and sensitized the community, it would be in about 200 plus cows. Just about a small estimation. But till date, for the past 15 years, we have 74 cows. Yet we have a community that has been there with cows, and it has been in existence also. A call to community engagement. How can we engage the community? Through the products themselves. Because if it is us, the members of ACHA, who consume the products we produce, then the community will be left out. If we produce ghee or milk, and it is us who buy the milk, then the community will not see the products of ACHA, and it will not be fully engaged. It will not come out. The people will not come out to bring cows, and many others. Yes, limited labor. The entire system has only 2 paid laborers for the past 15 years. These are the herdsmen. You've seen them down there. And their payment is based on, it's a monthly basis, but after selling a cow. Limited labor. Mr. has been telling us that they need more Bahima herdsmen, because he has given us a light of how they play with cows, how they graze them, how their life is around. But today they have two herdsmen. It's also a challenge. Publicity. We talk about publicity. We've all went there and we've all reached the site. What was welcoming it was the cow dung. When we stepped out of the vehicles, it was one of the impressions that I believe everyone got and was happy. I believe that's one of the key publicity issues. If the place is cleaned on a daily basis in the morning, I'm quite sure many people, if they come, they will be impressed of the place. But the first impression was the dung outside. It's part of culture. Yes, I won't tarnish that. But also the place has no a clear, can we call it welcoming poster? Like when you're coming inside the park, they welcome you to Lake Mburu. We didn't see any of that anywhere up there. We were just explained to us the tree or the flow of how Archer has been put into existence. We didn't see anything like, we've reserved like these animal skins. One of the products that reproduce ghee, it's here. This is milk. As you enter here, you'll see a lot of stuff that has been placed. It's one of the marketing strategies. He has limited access to new breeds. He has been explaining to us that they have only small breeds here. All of us have not seen, yes, the cattle with the long horned. There is this one which crosses around. Yes, like this, and many other breeds. I believe we've all used the internet, and I believe that if a person from, let's say, Rwanda sees that cattle around, you'll be impressed to come and check on the products you have. But rather being conserved with only one product, it's also not good. Yes, drought. He has been explained to us that they have one dam to feed 74 cows. Yes, it may be a limited number per now, but when you look at the growth and the future expectations of the organization, we need to advance onto that also. Then diseases. It has been also another challenge that they have flies that come in and attack the cows. And he has told us that the only solution is only death of these cows. Wild animals that come around, that gazette around, they attack and they kill the young ones, which can't fight for themselves. For that, thank you.
I'm more specific. The question is, Sam, you give us those questions. What is the problem? Where is the problem happening? Who is actually being affected? I think we can project them. Now, from the questions you're going to be projecting there, I want every team to get back to these things and all these challenges that we've lifted. What you're going to choose, I think, Dr. Ali, we should choose 2 or 3 of these problems, because now we want to get in detail. If the problem is about marketing, let us now dig deeper into asking deeper questions around why have you failed to put signage? Who is responsible? Why don't you have a website? Let us go in detail on this question. If it's a question of the finances, who is responsible? Why aren't they doing all these issues? If it's an issue around the breeds, like now I'm interested in the breeds. Why don't we have these ones crossed? Why don't we have them here? Can't we go? I've had an opportunity to go for the Kuinjira for some Banyankole. And it's like everybody who gets up to stand or speak says, Nkwadente, Nkwadente, Nkwadente. Now, why don't we go into this community and we say, here is Acha. Please say Nkwadente. And we get some of those things, here. Huh? Sorry, Banyankole. So now, Sam is going to project those questions, but each of us in our teams are going to choose 2 to 3.
I think today let them choose 2. Then as we go to tomorrow, we start to zero down more.
Because our problem is we will not have these elders tomorrow.
So that means what we
let's try to get some 2 questions at least before we close the day. Let's first concentrate on one question, and the elders of the likes of Johnson, the likes of Mandela, they are going to go in detail to explain that problem. Make sure, first of all, decide on which problem is actually eating you as a team, and that problem that you need depth understanding. We want to know what is the problem, where is the problem, who has the problem, why does it matter? Because at the end of the day, the focus should be we want to develop the Archer products. So be very crafty in choosing which of all these challenges is a bigger problem that is eating, and you would want to get solutions to it. Did I make any sense in my communication? Dr. Manase, you want to add to this before we begin? Okay, sawa, let's go. Let's get back into our teams.